So on top of everything else that went wrong with Cyberpunk 2077's release, CD Projekt Red has proved that their security systems aren't so secure, seeing as how they have been hacked. Their source code for games like Cyberpunk 2077, The Witcher 3, and the online card game Gwent from The Witcher 3 have been made off with and are currently being held for ransom. Yeah. What is up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Jeff, aka Eternal Pain, and I normally don't do videos like this, but I figured since this article was so compelling, I would try my hand at reporting the news. So at the end of this video, if you have felt like I've done a good job, or you just like my pretty face that's probably already broken your screen, hit the subscribe button, drop a like, and comment on the video to let me know your thoughts. With all of that being said, let's dive into it. So I was reading around on Google and I was just looking for some news on Cyberpunk just for my own personal use, and I found this. Yeah, that headline caught my attention too. Apparently this past Tuesday, hackers decided it would be a good idea to hack CD Projekt's servers, make off with the source codes for Cyberpunk, The Witcher 3, and Gwent, and even an unreleased version of The Witcher 3, and then hold it for ransom so that, I don't know, maybe they could put some fear into the corporations, just like in Cyberpunk, because they're true fans of the game. Either that or it's just some disgruntled customers that didn't like the game on release because it was riddled with bugs and graphical errors, but the world may never know. Just to give you guys a little bit of context, I'm going to scroll down here and read this first paragraph so we can all be on the same page. CD Projekt says it's been hacked by attackers who've been able to access its internal network, encrypt some devices, and collect certain data from the Polish video game company. So these hackers not only hacked their servers, they even locked them out of some of their equipment. If I wasn't so appalled by hackers and their just utter disregard for the lower level employees of companies, I would be impressed. Continuing in the paragraph, it says the Cyberpunk 2077 developer says it will not give in to the demands or negotiate with the attackers and does not believe any personal data of players or service users has been compromised. So that's a good thing. At least for now, they don't believe that our information is out there. In a tweet disclosing the hack, the company shared the ransom note left by the hackers who claim to have accessed the source code for Cyberpunk 2077, The Witcher 3, Gwent, and an unreleased version of The Witcher 3. The hackers are threatening to release the source code alongside internal legal, HR, and financial documents if we will not come to an agreement. So I'm going to pull up the tweet from CD Projekt now, and they released this statement that reads as follows. Yesterday, we discovered that we have become a victim of a targeted cyber attack due to which some of our internal systems have been compromised. An unidentified actor gained unauthorized access to our internal network, collected certain data belonging to CD Projekt CD Projekt Capital Group, and left a ransom note, the content of which we released to the public. Although some devices in our network have been encrypted, our backups remain intact. We have already secured our IT infrastructure and begun restoring the data. We will not give in to the demands or negotiate with the actor, being aware that this may eventually lead to the release of the compromised data. We are taking necessary steps to mitigate the consequences of such a release, in particular by approaching any parties that may be affected due to the breach. We are still investigating the incident. However, at this time, we can confirm that to their best knowledge, no guarantees here, guys, but to their best knowledge, the compromised systems did not contain any personal data of our players or users of our services. We have already approached the relevant authorities, including law enforcement and the president of the Personal Data Protection Office, as well as IT forensic specialists, and we closely cooperate with them in order to fully investigate this incident. So I gotta show CD Projekt a little bit of respect here, because they are standing their ground, they're not gonna pay the money, and apparently they are not afraid of any leaks that might come out. So either they just don't care about their dirty laundry and they're just throwing it in everybody's face, or they don't have as much as you think. My money's on the latter. I have heard reports of them overworking their employees to get Cyberpunk 2077 out on time. Partially, I think, just because they wanted part of that Christmas boom. And though the CEO did release a video with a formal apology to the fan base, they started off in a pretty crappy state. Anyway, they do have the message from the hackers available also in the same tweet, so I'm going to put it up on screen right now, and I'll just read it for you because, I mean, it's kind of hilarious. It says, "Hello, CD Projekt. You have been especially pwned." Who the fuck are you, Eric Cartman? "We have dumped full copies of the source codes from your Perforce server for Cyberpunk 2077, Witcher 3, Gwent, and the unreleased version of The Witcher 3. We have also dumped all your documents relating to accounting, administration, legal, HR, and investor relations, and more. Also, we have encrypted all your servers, but we understand that you can most likely recover from backups." I mean, if you ask me, that's just lazy. Why encrypt them when you can just fry them? Please don't do that. Please. This video is not a call out for somebody to go and attack them again. I mean, they've already fell flat on their face with the release of Cyberpunk, and now they've got all this shit going on. I know I'm a small YouTuber, but please, for just that one thing, don't listen to me. Anyway, the note continues to read, "If we will not come to an agreement, then your source codes will be sold or leaked online, and your documents will be sent to our contacts in gaming journalism," because apparently they think there's something good in there, but CD Projekt has already said that they're prepared for it. Your this is my favorite part of this whole thing. "Your public image will go down the shitter even more, and people will see how shitty your company functions." I mean, I feel like a 12-year-old wrote this, to be honest with you. "Investors will lose trust in your company, and the stock will dive even lower. You have 48 hours to contact us." I see no contact information on this whatsoever, unless they hid it from us, which honestly, it's probably a good idea, because the true hardcore fans of CD Projekt Red will definitely go after some hackers, or they'll just send them a bunch of mean tweets. So as I stated earlier in the video, the hackers gave CD Projekt a 48-hour grace period to comply with their demands, but they are standing their ground and they are saying, no, we are not going to give in to your demands, and we are just going to take this right on the chin no matter what you release. And today, because I actually found this article yesterday as of recording this video, today is Thursday, but as of today, I was rooting around online to see if there was an update for this, and I found this. Cyberpunk and Witcher hackers claim they'll auction off stolen source codes for millions of dollars. So what this article is saying is that basically CD Projekt Red has refused to pay in their 48 hours, so now the hackers have leaked information on a couple of different sites, and I'm not going to read the whole article here, but there are a couple things that I do want to point out. So yeah, basically this article is stating that since CD Projekt Red didn't comply with their demand to pay in 48 hours, now there have been leaks on different sites for the source codes for Gwent that I know of. And as far as Cyberpunk 2077 and The Witcher, their source codes are on auction for potentially millions of dollars. I think somewhere in the article it says that the auctions start at $1 million and they go up in increments of $500,000 at a time, or somebody can just buy it flat out for $7 million. Now I'm thinking it's just some bottom feeders that wanted to just attack a corporation and say, hey, let's make some money off of this. Either that, or it was a customer that just really wanted a refund. I might be making light of the circumstances right now, but I do take into consideration the consequences for this information being leaked to journalists, to black market buyers. Like, I realize that somebody could basically just steal the entire game, create their own, and say, okay, here, now I'm going to put this out. I realize that the employees that worked for CD Projekt and the former employees that worked for them are at risk because of HR information, because of financial information. And honestly, I think this is a pretty shitty thing for somebody to do. I have an absolute disdain for hackers, because they think that they're Robin Hood, stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, but at the end of the day, they're just in it to make a quick buck and then masquerading as self-righteous assholes. There's one little section of the article that I want to read here, and it goes like this. This is the ransom data that was leaked up here, and it says the initial leak is believed to include source code of CDPR's virtual card game Gwent, while VX Underground disclosed that auctions for more valuable source codes were happening on a hacking forum known as Exploit. I don't know any of this stuff myself, but I will probably end up researching it later because this is kind of interesting to me. We haven't been able to verify that information, and CDPR has not responded to a request for comment. That worries me a little bit, because now that the leaks have started to come out, they're not talking. CDPR is not talking. They're not trying to get ahead of this. At least as of the recording of this video, there hasn't been a statement released by them saying, hey, everything's okay, everything's fine, let's just all skip through the tulips and have a great time. Anyway, it goes on to say a cybersecurity firm called Kayla, which specializes in providing threat intelligence to companies based on analysis of dark web websites and communities, says it has reason to believe the auctions are in fact legitimate. So this isn't somebody just screwing around. This is somebody who actually stole some data from a game developer, and now they're just trying to make a quick buck off of it. In my honest opinion, I think it was all about the money from the start, which, I mean, yeah, their data was held for ransom, so that's all they wanted. They wanted money. They didn't want the company to hurt. They wanted to line their pockets. That's what a lot of hackers do, and they'll claim that it's for the betterment of whatever, but in reality, most hackers are just out for money. Honestly, it disgusts me, because when sensitive information gets released about a company's finances or internal workings, it's not just the upper executives that get hurt. When the company takes a dip, that's jobs lost, that's people's paychecks cut, that's a lot of hurt on people that probably didn't deserve it just because they work for that company that might have no knowledge of nefarious going-ons in the higher chain of command. Ow. If you're wondering what that was, I just slammed my knuckles into my desk. Now I'm gonna go cry in a corner silently. So after reading through a little bit of the article again and looking at this, from what I understand, this source code here is from CD Projekt Red's Red engine, which is their in-house gaming engine, which is what they use to develop all their games. It's what they use to basically do their jobs. And if anybody gets their hands on that source code, then that means they can use that engine to create games of their own without giving any acknowledgement to the hardworking people on the lower level at CDPR, which that's another thing I find disgusting, which is they're just going to be making money off of other people's hard work instead of putting in the time and effort themselves. For my opinion on this, at the end of the day, CD Projekt might have fumbled a little bit with the release of Cyberpunk 2077, but I don't think a lot of people would argue with me when I argue that The Witcher 3 was a really, really good game. I played through it. I loved the story. I loved basically everything about the game, and I spent a lot of hours playing it. I personally don't think that they deserved this, but I also believe that the hackers, instead of being motivated by the shitty release of Cyberpunk 2077, they just wanted somebody that the public eye was already on to exploit. They thought that CDPR would be an easy target, yet they refused to pay the ransom. But now that the leaks have started to come out, the only thing that worries me about all of this is the fact that they haven't released a statement yet. I don't know if somebody in the higher part of the food chain is running scared, or if they're worried that their stocks will indeed drop, which after a security breach, usually a company's stocks do drop because investors lose faith in them. They say, oh, well, our data is not secure with you, so I'm going to go elsewhere. CDPR has had some problems in the past, like overworking their employees, like I said, and I'm sure there's shady business deals that go on every day in the boardroom, but that's with any billion-dollar company. That's just to be expected. That's part of the corporate world. It's like eat or be eaten. But that's just part of the business world. There's always going to be some shady stuff going down at the top. What people fail to realize, and I've scrolled through the Twitter feed for that announcement that CD Projekt Red made. Some of the comments on Twitter, for this video, I didn't feel like they were worth going through, just for the simple fact that some of them were just so one-sided in the fact that there were people saying that CD Projekt Red deserves everything they get after their shitty release for Cyberpunk, and they gave us a half-baked game, so they deserve all of it. But those people, and I realize Twitter's toxic anyway, but those people don't realize the gravity of the situation, because when it comes down to it, like I said previously in the video, you've got all of those innocent lower level employees that their data is now compromised. They're at risk just because the company might have some dirty laundry that somebody's gonna put out into the open. There's probably parents working for them, most likely, that they're just trying to do a job and take care of their children. I can understand what would happen if I lost my job and I wasn't able to put food on the table for my daughter. It's just it's both amusing to me and it sickens me at the same time, because on the one hand, you've got the big corporation who didn't exactly deliver what they promised, and then on the other hand, you've got all of the innocent people that are working for them that didn't have any control of any of the bullshit that went on. Yet it doesn't matter if you're the lowest person on the food chain or the highest. When a data breach like this happens, everyone is at risk, not just the higher executives. So if there's anything that I want to get out in this video, it is that it's not only the people who deserve it that are going to suffer for this data breach. Anyway, I think it is about time for me to shut my yap, because I don't know how this video is going to turn out. I have yet to enter my editor and try to paste something together that's half-assed decent for you to watch. Do hang around for just a second though, because I do have a special announcement. But if you did find this video entertaining or informative in any way, don't forget to drop a like down below, smash your fist into the subscribe button as hard as you can. Disclaimer, not responsible for any broken monitors or cell phone screens, and leave a comment down below as to what you thought about the topic in today's video. Do you think they deserve it? Do you think that the hackers deserve to be brought to justice, or do you just not care either way? Feel free to have a discussion, or if you do have any updated information on the situation, feel free to leave that down below as well. Until next time, guys, have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Say hi. Say hi. Alright guys, just as a final closing thing, I have managed to finally get my first video that reached over 1,000 views, and I just want to thank you guys for all the support, and my little baby girl wants to thank you for all the support. It was one of my goals when I started out to at least get a video to have over 1,000 views on it, and you guys made it happen, so thank you very much. You want to say thank you? You want to say thank you? She can't talk. All right, with all that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and remember, have a wonderful day. Say bye. Say bye.